Greetings, model railroaders, HO scalers. This is my latest build. This is a Manitowoc 3900 rotary foundation drill. It is loosely based off the Case Foundation out of Boston. They had, or still have, a couple of 3900s. Looks something similar to this, but not 100% similar. I did the best I could with what I had. So this build started with this little fella right here. This is a elevator off of a Caterpillar 627G scraper. So when I build crest carriers, I just cannibalize the parts to use for future projects, and this is, gosh, been in my junk box for 15 years. And I knew at some point I wanted to build a rotary foundation drill, so I kept this part just for this purpose, because that would be very hard to make by hand. Very hard. And the crane, I built the crane first. And then I built the rotary foundation part and all that other jazz. I really like building cranes. It's a lot of fun. But I don't have any place to store them except my electric arc furnace, and I have to tear down my layout for now. So these will be stored in there, and I'll break them out whenever I can. I have no idea what I'm going to build next, but I'll be building something. And yes, I know the boom is off by a lot, because when I reeved it, I pulled the boom back not knowingly and glued it in place, and that's where it is now. So that's one big major flaw in this model. Oops, stuff happens. I could technically re-reeve it and lower the boom where it's supposed to, but this took me all day to reeve this thing. I have trouble reeving the cranes. That's probably the hardest part about all my builds, is reeving the cables for the crane. This is a sheepscot boom, sheepscot hooks, and everything else is scratch. This is made, the crane and crawler and all that stuff is made from flat sheet styrene. This is styrene tubing. This is part of a Bachmann depressed center flat car that I cut up and flipped over, and then built this pad here for a Kebra copy resin generator. Then a bunch of junk and some more junk and just a bunch of junk. That was off some toy that I made into a spreader bar. But everything else is scratch. It's mostly styrene. Super fun build, man. I had a blast. I said in a previous video I was going to build this machine, and finally got around to it. I have some other machines I need to build, one being a Crest slag pot carrier. That should be fun. That'll be very hard to build, especially the geometry in the back and all the weird angles and stuff. It should be fun. Stick around, we'll see if I can build it. But this was an absolute jewel. Went ahead with the Case Foundation paint scheme, loosely based on the Case Foundation out of Boston. But now I can say, you know, I actually need to build another 3900, which I probably will, to match this one, to go with this one, because there was two, and just finding pictures and stuff with this machine is pretty hard. So it's not exact, and that looks like a Manitowoc orange spot logo, but it's just an orange spot with some scribbling on it. It does have a seat in the cab and all that, but that's about it. It's pretty Spartan in there. That is it, my friends. God bless you all. I don't know what's going to happen next, kids. No idea. But God's going to end our story soon. Almost. The movie's almost over. And then, yeah, you're going to learn some terrible things. But it's necessary for mankind to move forward. That is it, kids. God bless you all, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.